Okay. All right, we've hit the button, Ella.
Okay. Godspeed.
Yes, amen. Yeah. Hey, hello everybody. How are you all doing? TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Hello everybody, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Janet's Pick. Thank you for joining me today. How was your week? Hope you all had a fantastic week. Thank goodness the weekend is here, and I am even more excited today because I have another amazing woman as my guest today on Janet's Pick. Now, if you are just joining me for the first time, my name is Janet Ezocha. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 3, and I have always been really amazed, inspired by women who are living their purpose and who have been able to turn their God-given talents into profit-making ventures or non-profit making ventures. And being a woman, again, a wife and mom and a full-time worker for that matter, I understand the challenges involved for anyone wishing to go into business, wishing to go into entrepreneurship, wishing to own their own business. And so it gives me great pleasure to speak to women who can tell their stories and inspire others. Letting you know that you can do it too. All things are possible to them that believe. And so join me today as I welcome my guest for today, Ella Pritsker.
Hi.
Pronounce your name right, Pritsker, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes. I have fumbled some names before, so.
Well.
Thank you, Ella. Ella is the president and
creative director
of Ella Pritsker Couture. She founded that company is it 20 years ago thereabout, Ella?
It was over 20 years ago.
Over 20 years ago, that's a long time. Ella Pritsker Couture is located in Baltimore, Maryland, which is in the vicinity of the DC area. She is one of Mid-Atlantic region's most celebrated custom design houses, utilizing centuries-old master techniques to deliver exceptional results. Offering design expertise for executive couture, wedding gowns, and special occasion dresses, Ella and her team designers have been creating signature pieces for more than 20 years. And if you wish to contact her, you can find her or locate her at ellapritsker.com. Ella, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Janet. What a pleasure speaking with you tonight.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. You've been very gracious to me. We met up some days ago. I had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to have you share your story with the rest of the world, or my world. How's
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for having me. A really pleasure to speak to you, Janet. Really enjoyed our conversation a few days ago. I think I met a new friend.
Yay! I think so too.
As I go around about my life, my goal is to meet friends, to make friends.
Really? Wow.
That's my daily goal. Make new friends.
Wow.
Make friends.
That's interesting. Well, you're +1 addition. Put a check mark by my name. So Ella, how about you? Can you tell us a bit about your background? I know it's a lot. So for those of you that don't know, Ella has moved from years ago being a refugee from Russia. And now she is this huge designer of this wonderful, amazing company. And Ella, that's amazing in itself. Can you tell us a bit about your journey? How did you get to this point? Where did you start from?
Thank you for your kind introduction. It's been 30 years that I've been here in the United States, and I'm really grateful to be here. Very thankful for the warm welcome and hospitality of this country and its people. It's been really a wonderful experience so far. I say this more often, that that I am just incredibly grateful to be here, and for all of the opportunities that this country has offered and afforded me. And I extend every day. I try to do my best to extend some kindness and gratitude in return for all of the kindness that has been shown to me. I arrived here in the United States 30 years ago. It has been just over 30 years. And I came here from Russia with my ex-husband. And at the time, I was expecting my first son, who is now 30 years old and who has a little boy of his own. So I am now a grandmother.
A grandma.
Yes, my family has grown a little bit. So he has, I have a grandson, and very, very happy and excited about that. Always wanted to have a big family. So we're growing. 30 years ago, I came to the United States. This journey took a little over 6 months from Russia to United States. It took us through Europe, and for several months we lived in Italy. And when we finally arrived in the United States, we landed here in Baltimore. And I'm really grateful for that. At the time, I think it was about 40 or 50,000 people that came to Baltimore and joined the Baltimore community here of Russian-speaking immigrants. And somehow Baltimore Sun was doing a big article about the community of immigrants that joined the larger community here. And they decided to write an article and appointed, for some reason unknown to me to this day, they chose myself and my ex-husband to write an article about. So a reporter and photographer followed us for several months and took pictures, observed our life, and asked questions through an interpreter. And one of the questions that an interpreter asked me, "What do you miss most about your home?" I replied, "Of course, I miss my sewing machine." And when the article was published on December 3rd, 1990, it was called "From Russia with Hope." When the article was published, I had received as a gift several sewing machines from women that I did not know. They were all left at my doorstep with a note. Please enjoy. We hope that this helps you. We hope that this brings you some joy. And I was incredibly touched and truly moved by such kindness and generosity of women that didn't know me, but wanted to extend this kindness to me and wanted to welcome me to Baltimore and the community and wanted to make me feel welcome here. I think at that point, I realized how gracious this was And I decided that someday, when I'm able to, I'm going to help as many women as I possibly can, and that I would return the favor and be as helpful as I possibly can to women that needed a little just help, just a little help. That kindness and generosity, that small act of kindness helped me and propelled me in my future. I don't know where my how my life would have turned out if I did not receive that gift, but I know that looking back, I know that that moment was a turning point in my life. I know that that impacted me in a way that it really changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I want to know, I want you to know that that simple act of kindness from people that I did not know and they did not know me, they just read an article, really changed my life. And I think that I think back to that moment quite frequently, actually. And I think that if I ever begin to doubt that any of my doing and helping other women, if I begin to doubt myself that it helps at all, I think back to that moment and say to myself that don't ever doubt that simple things that we can help others with, that simple gesture, um, kindness, sometimes it's just an encouragement. It really can impact someone's life in a very positive way. And that is what I try to do every day. And that is, uh, that has become my mission in life, to help women to become independent, to fulfill their dreams, to um, be able to pursue their passion in whatever way that they choose. But in my case, my school and my couture business, where we make clothes for women, whether they are whether this is just a one piece, one of a kind item in their wardrobe, or a whole wardrobe, or whether it's just a wedding dress, or perhaps a mother of the bride dress, or a special jacket for their career moves. Um, all of those things, in my heart of hearts, I hope that we are helping someone to feel more confident, to feel more beautiful. And I think that when we all feel more beautiful and more confident and more sure of ourselves, we are a lot more um, we are a lot more likely um, to make the right decisions, to make the right move for ourselves, um, to continue to pursue our dream, to continue to do the work that we do, and do it with passion, confidence, and courage, and choose the steps that we are supposed to take. Take courage to keep moving forward. And sometimes it is just that, just a simple word of encouragement. For some people, that is all that we need. A lot of times, that is all that we need. Just a word of encouragement saying, you can do this. You can do this. You got this.
That's right. It is amazing how that simple but really thoughtful act of kindness, the seed that is sowed, not in only in transforming your life, but now you're transforming the lives of other women who will go on to transform lives of other, and so on and so forth. So that is amazing, a very big life lesson there, to not, not despise, our little simple acts of kindness, right? Or
That's
underestimate.
correct. Yes.
Wow. It might sound like an obvious question, but why? Why did you decide to transition to the United States, and become what you went through in coming here? You say it took you 6 months. What was it like? What were the conditions like back?
Uh, my former husband and I wanted to move to a place where we could raise our children in a free country, in a free world, and that where they could do and pursue their dreams and live a free life. And that was our main motivation to afford a better life for our children.
Yes,
So I
that's
think that I think that people all over the world we all have pretty much the same dreams and visions for our lives. We all want the same thing. We all want to be happy, to live in relative peace, and raise our children um, give our children a better life. That's a universal desire for all of us. I think all people everywhere desire the same thing. We all want to have a good life with our families, be able to fulfill our professional um, desires, passions, aspirations, and we want to um, lead a happy life and raise our children in relative peace. That's a universal desire that everyone that I spoke to, um, anywhere in the world, we all want the same thing.
absolutely. We have more in common, right?
We do. We have a lot more in common than we realize. We all want the same thing.
That's so true.
We
And
all want to be happy and raise our children in a good environment. We all want the same thing.
that's
If
right.
only people knew that. We really just, if we all knew that about each other, about ourselves, all countries, all nationalities, all cultures, we all want the same thing. We all want to live in peace.
That's right. That's so right. And sounds like you are accomplishing, or maybe have accomplished some of that already, but it hasn't always been that way. Uh, coming to this side of the world, coming for a better life. I know, like we talked about, you did have a couple of struggles over a
Uh,
long time.
I think that nothing good comes without struggles. In life, as in business, we all we all have certain things that we have to overcome. Whether it could be our upbringing that we have struggled with, or or um, any challenges that we encounter in our professional life or in our relationships. We all have challenges. Challenges are part of life, and we have to overcome those. Those are our lessons. Those are our um, there's a gift in every challenge, and every single adversity shapes who you are. I have gone through many challenges as I was growing up, as well as when I was moving here to United States. And after I arrived here in the United States, there have been many, many challenges. And as I kept overcoming each one at a time, my faith was becoming stronger and stronger. And I know that as I was overcoming each challenge, I knew I was more and more sure that I can do it. That just like people before me, that came before me, that were able to accomplish things, that I would be able to accomplish things too. And my dreams were never really about professional accomplishments. I just really wanted always to help somebody, and that that desire to be of service, to help somebody, was driving me every day and continues to drive me every day. And that is the only, really the only desire that I have every day, is to be of service. Um, every day I wake up thinking how grateful I am for my place in life, and how truly grateful I am that I am able to be of service to somebody, that I'm able to help somebody, that I'm in a position to do something good for someone's life, and hopefully improve somebody's life. And when that happens, we automatically improve our relationships, improve our lives of ourselves. So that's that's sort of like, it's a given. When you help somebody, you're automatically helping yourself, no matter what the situation may be, no matter what context you're looking at. You're always helping. Uh, you always helping somebody else is like, if you smile at somebody, you can't help it but smile yourself. If you encourage somebody, you can't help it but being by that act, very act, you're encouraging yourself. So you have to. Um, it's just that's how it works.
I've heard you talk about business as a ministry when you speak of helping others as your mission, your daily mission. I remember, us talking. You described business as ministry for you. Uh,
That is very true. That's how I look at my entire life, and that's, I think that we all, in some ways, the way we live our lives, the way we conduct our business, that is how we that is how we minister to each other. That is how we. I look at my business as a ministry. That's what I do, and it's that's that's just that's just it.
this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I've learned from that. Thank you for that. If you are just joining us, this is Janet's Pick. My name is Janet Ezocha. Thank you for being with us this evening. I'm speaking with the amazing Ella Pritsker. She is the founder and creative designer of Ella Pritsker Couture right here in Baltimore, Maryland, or in the DMV area. So thanks for being with us. Oh, I want to move into like entrepreneurship now. What propelled you into entrepreneurship? So you learned how to sew back in Russia. How to
So yes, this is very interesting. People ask me that question all the time. What propelled you into entrepreneurship? How did you become an entrepreneur? And I really was never actually setting out to be an entrepreneur. Oh, I think I'm going to be an entrepreneur. It just happened that way. And the way it happened is I had to, very quickly after I arrived to United States, I became a single mom, and I had to make a way for my small family. I had to make a way for my son and provide for him. And the only thing that I knew how to do is make clothes. So, and that was my skill set, and that's what I relied on. And when I remember distinctly, I held several different jobs. Nothing was sort of beneath me to do to provide for my son. I did everything, including uh, waiting on tables. I was a waiter, server in a restaurant at some point, and I was, and not a really good one either. So I really truly appreciate all the servers who serve meals in restaurants, because it's a very difficult job. And so I did that, and I was a caregiver for a man who was paralyzed, quadriplegic man, and that had taught me so many different things, including compassion, kindness, patience, among others. And I had to provide, but I also had a burning desire to create beautiful things. That has always been a passion of mine from the time I was a very young child. I always drew dresses. I imagined dresses. I basically all the time was thinking about beautiful dresses and beautiful things that I could make, and flowers and things like that. And it has always been something that I really wanted to do. And every minute that I could, I spent always making something beautiful, and just marveled at how simple things uh, I could use to create beautiful clothes, beautiful dresses, or beautiful blouses, skirts, and jackets, and things like that. And um, as time went on, I was getting better and better. And also, people were getting to know about my skills. And the minute I remember distinctly this one moment that I decided that I wanted to do this full time, that this was what I wanted to pursue, because I always was afraid to make that step, because I had to sort of really make sure that I had enough uh, to provide for my son. And once I made that decision that I was going to do that, and that was going to be my life, my contribution, my chosen profession, things changed. It
Mm.
it became something that I've made a decision that I wanted to do, became a thing. And that's the only way I can describe it. When I made that decision, everything shifted and things started falling into place. Um, there's a quote that I read at some point that just really comes to mind right now, that the minute you decide, the minute you put that forth, that everything comes to support that decision that you make. And that was the case for me. So I always say that if you decide to do that, then you have to just go forth, and you just have to keep moving forward, no matter what the obstacles are, no matter what the um, doubts that you may have, no matter what some critics may say. And there will be critics, because the minute you make a decision, and some of those critics are not even people from outside yourselves. Some of those critics are right here. Those are our most powerful critics, and you just have to turn them off. And you just have to not give that any power. You just have to dismiss those critics and have to keep moving forward. Have to keep baby steps. Make baby steps every day. Make a step toward your choice of a career, profession. Every day, make uh, progress. Just small steps every day amount to a lot of progress over time. And sometimes we want to see big jumps, big leaps in progress. And that is just not how, yes, sure, sometimes they come too. Sometimes you make big leaps forward, but those leaps forward come only because you make a decision and choice every single day to continue to pursue your passion. Continue to do one small thing every day towards your dream. And no matter how small those actions, those decisions, no matter how small they are, they always stack up, their amount to something really great, because we don't see our own progress. We can't see it. Only by stepping aside, only by if you, let's say, if you didn't see somebody, you knew somebody and they knew you at this one point, and then you kept progressing every day, you didn't see that, you don't see that progress, you don't know that progress within yourself, but somebody from outside you can see that progress. And so I always recommend, have a trusted mentor, have somebody who can coach you, guide you along, and also just encourage you and be patient with you and say, you're doing a great job. This is, have you considered to do something like this? Or take this action, or maybe make this choice. Have someone in your life whom you can trust to give you honest feedback. I think it is so incredibly important to have that, to have a relationship with somebody who can honestly give you feedback and say, um, maybe this is something, uh, maybe you're off course a little bit here, or maybe you can take this next step and introduce you to somebody that can guide you and lead you to the next thing, to the next level in your business or career. That would be probably my biggest advice is don't wait for anything. You're ready to do whatever it is that you want to do in life and pursue your passion. You're ready to do it right now. You don't have to wait for any special occasion or any special thing to happen or somebody to give you permission. You are ready. You can do this. If I could do it, you can do it. You are ready. That's number one. And number two, don't postpone anything. Start today. Start doing something today, and every day continue to make small steps. And number three, always have somebody in your corner, somebody whom you can trust, who can tell you honestly and give you honest feedback and also encourage you. I always say that I actually recently had come to this realization that to be happy in life, or feel that you, or maybe it's not happiness, I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but it's contentment. This feeling that the only, I guess, what way to describe it is being happy is it requires four things. One is your relationship with yourself and your creator, of course. Two, your relationship within your family. It takes uh, good relationships in family to have it's one of the components for a happy life. And the third is your professional fulfillment. Without professional fulfillment, a happy life is not possible. And that is why I always advocate for people to think about their career choice and go after your passion. Go after something that you really dream about, because only by having professional fulfillment, you can be happy. And of course, the last one, and not the least, is your relationships with your friends. It takes friends and your relationships within your community. So those four things: your relationship with yourself and your creator, your family, your professional fulfillment, and your friends and community at large. Those are the four things that you sort of have to be good within yourself to have a happy life, to be content, to be satisfied, to be fulfilled. Whatever that definition of happiness is, that's, to me, that's, those four components are necessary. And so in order for happiness to be your reality, professional fulfillment is incredibly important. Without it, there will always be something that maybe will feel like you're lacking or missing something. So
Wow.
don't wait. Just go for it. Don't wait. Nobody needs to give you permission. You have to give yourself permission to go for the dream, whatever that dream may be.
I think, like you said, dealing with the critics in our head.
Yes, they're the biggest ones in your
Yeah,
head. Yeah, they're the biggest critics.
are stuck at that point. They know what they're gifted at. They have the heart for service, but it's just the commitment, just going for it. I'm seeing is where a lot of people are getting stuck. That's certainly where I've been stuck in the past as well. I want to pedal back a little bit because you gave us a little insight into some of the jobs that you had to work to make ends meet. Give us a vivid picture of how bad things really got before they started getting better, before you made that decision. Maybe even after you made the decision, you still were in the trenches for a while before things started looking up. How bad did things really get for you?
Oh God, I really don't want to revisit that, but Yeah, so I lived out of my car for a little while with my son. So for all intents and purposes, we were homeless. And even at that moment, I never felt discouraged. I never felt like, well, while there were, let me correct myself, while there were times, many times when I felt like throwing in the towel and really didn't want to continue going forward, I always had a bigger reason than myself. I had a son to take care of, and that kept me going. So, yeah, there there have been challenges, very real challenges, like putting a roof over my son's head. That was a big challenge at some point in my life, and overcoming that, it really just nothing else sort of makes you all that fearful of what life may bring, because I think that if you overcome that, then you can overcome anything. And the critics that you have in your head, they can be silenced too, because the faith of the faith that we have will guide you through. It will take you through everything.
That's true. And being
Just have just have faith that tomorrow is going to be a better day. Every day, have faith that tomorrow is going to be a better day. No matter how bleak your current circumstances might be, better days are ahead, brighter days are ahead. Always believe that. Always believe that.
we need to hear that again every day, these times that we're in and what this year, has brought to this world. It's really, that's great encouragement. Um, thank you. Thank
I
you.
think I think this 2020 has been a challenge for everyone. And I think that if we can all get through 2020, we're good. We can do this. We got this.
I tell people when I speak to them, like, the fact that you are alive, I'm speaking to you right now, you've made it thus far, you're making it. Look,
We're, right. All of us, we're making it. We are going to make it. We're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. We're all going to survive this. Everything is going to be okay. Um, I think that just going on every day on faith that we are going to see a better day tomorrow, that every day is going to get better, that every day is going to be brighter from here on, because I think we are on the other side of, the worst of it,
mm,
hopefully.
mm,
And we have to believe that. And I always say, just keep going. Just keep going one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Sometimes you have to. And I was just talking to someone today. I said, all you have to do is just put your mask on and go out, go do your thing, go do your life, live your life.
mm.
We can't stay shuttered. We have to keep going. And we have friends that we need to support. There's, businesses that we need to patronize, restaurants that we need to eat out, so that we can support each other and help each other get through these difficult times. And all we have to do is put our mask on, Army soft with sanitizer if you have to, uh, keep it handy for sure, and go do your thing, go live your life.
You live your life.
Yeah,
You,
life is not going to wait. We got to keep going.
yeah, absolutely. I like the way you said, put your mask on and, and keep
Yeah,
going.
yes,
Good
we
to hear.
have to. We have to um, well, as a courtesy to others, we have to put it on, so that we all are going to remain safe. We're going to continue to be safe and continue to be active with our life, and continue to do what we must do every day.
That's right. And you've actually led me to my next question. But before that, I want to, for folks just joining us, my name is Janet. Welcome. This is Janet's Pick. I have with me today Ella Pritsker. She is the president and creative director of Ella Pritsker Couture. Ella, thank you again. Your story is amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. An inspiring insight into her background and how she's come to be where she is right now. So welcome. Now, how has COVID, because you brought up COVID, how has this whole COVID thing impacted your business and the way
Uh,
you do things?
it has been an interesting journey, a very, very interesting journey for which I'm incredibly grateful because I was able to pivot my business in March when the need became great for masks for frontline workers and for hospitals. Our company was able to pivot to make masks and donate um, masks as we were creating our first prototype. We were uh, generating lots and lots of masks. So we were donating, as we were going, we were donating masks to local hospitals and thousands of masks actually. And as we were designing, redesigning, coming up with the latest iterations and thousands of masks later, we came up with this really great model. And as our project came to an end with masks for hospitals, we um, looked at the overall picture of what was happening, and I at some point I realized that the next segment of our community that is really going to need a mask is not just consumers, but um, our corporate clients, our businesses, our friends who were getting ready to reopen their businesses, whether they were restaurants or travel industry, hospitality, and corporate businesses that were facing customers every day. They had to face their customers in a mask. And because they couldn't, their customers couldn't see their smile, couldn't see their face, at the I thought that it would be pretty incredible if at the very least they could see a brand, a branded logo on a mask,
Mhm.
so that you would feel comfortable as a client or as a customer of that business, as a patron of that business. You would feel that somebody had given it so much thought that they had even designed a part of their uniform to reflect their business, their corporate identity, their brand identity. And I thought that um, actually, as I was going about my business and talking to people that were getting ready to reopen, I have realized that that one thing that they did for their employees and their customers, to protect their employees and to protect their customers, made me as a consumer feel incredibly comfortable and confident that everything that they're doing
Mhm.
is done for our protection. So we pivoted to make corporate masks, and that's what our business right now. We are making corporate masks for businesses and clients and in across many different industries, and that has been um, incredibly fulfilling and rewarding for me to be able to help our friends in business to face it with style.
Yes,
I always say, life happens. We must with style.
I like it. Face it with style. I love it. I love that. I love that. I love that. We have some questions coming in from our live audience. I promised to take questions. As
Okay.
permits. So let's go to some. Well, first of all, what do you love most? What do you find fulfilling most? Designing or teaching?
Oh my, what a question. I love teaching. I absolutely love teaching. I love to share um, what my knowledge is in couture sewing and in designing. I love to teach others and help others to become who they want to become in this industry. And that's one of the biggest inspirations, and source of my inspiration is my students. because I love seeing how they learn and being able to unlock the possibilities for them and give them freedom to design and create what they have in mind to create, to design what dreams they have in their mind, what garments, what gowns, what outfits they have. And I love seeing that happen because that, I think, unlocking that freedom, unlocking those possibilities and giving somebody freedom to design, I think that's one of the most rewarding things that I have been able to do in my life. That has been an incredible source of inspiration, my students.
Wow. You're not just creating gowns or dress or clothes, you're creating dreams. You're making dreams happen in the lives
Amen.
of students. Like, how many students would you say you've taught so far?
It's been hundreds
Wow.
students. And a lot of students, what we're seeing now, pre-COVID, were coming in from different countries. And that's been incredibly rewarding for me.
Wow.
It's really just a pleasure to be able to teach people from many different parts of the world, from many walks of life. It's been incredible. I feel incredibly blessed.
That is incredible. Hundreds, that is incredible. I have a question from another member of our live audience. What motivational books would you recommend to help with building the right mindset as an entrepreneur?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I love reading. I read a lot of books, and actually, I don't read a physical book. I listen to books all the time, and I have this a great app that I have on my phone. It's called audiobooks.com, and the reason I chose that particular app is because it's local, and it's designed by local people here in Maryland. And I'm a very big advocate for shopping local, for purchasing local, for supporting your local community. So most inspirational books. That's a very good question. I don't think I can pick one, except I would probably pick some authors. My very, very first introduction to self-help and self-motivation was an author. His name is Og Mandino. The Greatest Miracle in the World is one of the first books, motivational books that I've read, and it really helped me personally to understand that I am here for a purpose, that I have a purpose that only I can fulfill, and that I have to go about fulfilling that because I'm put on this earth to do that, and fulfilling that purpose will bring me fulfillment. So, and each one of us has that purpose. Each one of us has a seed that was planted as we were coming into this world, and it's up to us to find it. It's up to us to discover it. It's up to us to bring that purpose into life. And I think that once we are able to do that, then we are able to find fulfillment and happiness. That's a big part of it. So, Og Mandino, of course, I loved reading books by Wayne Dyer. I can't really even think of one that there's another book that I absolutely love, and it has nothing to do with business, but it has everything to do with life. And it's by Stephen Pressfield. It's called A Legend of Bagger Vance. There was a movie which was nothing like the book, and the book is a really good one, especially for folks that like sports. I don't know. I promise I'll come up with a list. How's that?
Awesome. Fantastic.
One
Already. Thank
I
you.
mean, I read so many books, I can't pick one out right now.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you're a reader. That's good
I
to
think I have to add something about that because I do believe in self-education. I think self-education is huge, and regardless of what education one received in their young years, it's incredibly important if you want to succeed in life, in any area of your life, to continue to educate yourself, to continue to read, um, to stay up to date with new things in the industry, with new things in any of the other um, interests that you may have, to keep to keep your mind constantly engaged and learning new things. Learning new things, I think, is incredibly important too, because our brain is we have it's like exercise for brain, just like we all like to exercise our bodies and exercise our mind by stretching it, by introducing new things. I think it's incredibly important, very important.
thank
Not
you.
for young people, it's important for everyone to keep our minds engaged always.
I hear you. Amen to that. Yes, yes, yes. I'm trying to do more of that. And
Yeah.
hopefully the perhaps added flexibility that this COVID period has provided, the slowdown will enable more people do more reading. I think it's done that for me. Um, I have one more question from the audience. I know our time
Okay.
is running out. How does one get into the clothing business?
Oh wow, that's a good one. I I get asked, I get that question a lot, and I always say that if I had a child who was interested in becoming a fashion designer or doing anything at all in the fashion industry, in the garment industry, I would recommend, like if I had a child, I would teach that my child everything I know, and um, put put that person through um, a school of learning everything that I know. And then I would suggest that they go and seek what used to be called an apprenticeship. I think there's something really powerful when a new person learns from someone who has mastered what they are um, hoping to do, and only that, and gain as much experience as possible. Try to get into many different what they're called now internships, so as to gain experience in many different areas in the industry. And that's the only way you can do that effectively, to seek opportunities to be uh, of service of in several different companies, several different um, um, I'm not sure, I forget the word, but in other words, to try and gain as much experience in many different areas in the industry, because the industry is so wide. There is so many opportunities. One doesn't have to be a fashion designer, and as a matter of fact, a lot of people think that fashion designer, all they do is draw pictures, and that's and drape cloth, and that is just simply not the case. Um, if you look at different companies, you will realize that fashion design is not exactly what you may think it is. So, gaining experience, even if it's just for a few months here and a few months there, and that after you have gained some substantial skill set, then going and apprenticing or having that internship experience is key, because then you can actually learn what you do and don't like about certain um, aspects of the job. And once you have that experience, then you can make a more intelligent decision of what exactly the avenue that you like to pursue in this industry, in this profession. So that would be my advice.
Is there one skill set that is more important than the other in fashion design?
Um, so there is a book I read by someone whose name is, I think, Gladwell. I can't remember if his first name is David or Malcolm I can't remember. Gladwell. His last name is Gladwell. This author's book is called The Outliers, and in that book, he proposes that everybody should spend at least 10,000 hours pursuing their subject of interest
Hmm.
and perfecting their skills in that subject of interest. And within those 10,000 hours, which is a lot of time, but 10,000 hours is about necessary to achieve mastery in one area or another. And I propose the same thing, that 10,000 hours spent doing, uh, whether it's sewing or designing or whatever the area may be. Maybe it's a computer science. I'm not sure what, anything at all. That's how all of the great masters of their trade have become great. They've invested their time. They've invested their time. They've done their work.
So
So
sharpen your skills. Sharpen.
yeah, yeah, you have to sharpen your tools. Learning new skills, it's like acquiring tools for your toolbox. So you have all these different tools, and then now once you have all the different tools, you can use them effectively to do whatever it is that you want to, whatever you set out to do, whatever you want to accomplish. You have to have the tools in your toolbox, and your tools are simply like in our industry, your tools are your skill set. um, can you make the garment? Can you design the garment? Can you do the grading? Can you do the pattern making? Can you do the sample making? Can you do all of those skills, your tools in your toolbox?
Well, you have dropped so many gems this evening. I'm trying to write down as much as I can. This has been awesome. I'm so sad. I'm looking at the time like, no,
Oh
you
my God. Is it already? That
yes,
it was so fast. Time flew.
the hour is going to pass fast. I still have a number of questions from our audience. So I just want to ask Ella, would you be available to join me again? Maybe a part two?
I would love to. Absolutely. I would love
Thank
to.
you, because I do have some really critical questions. I do have guests that are maybe 30 and above, maybe a little,
Mhm.
older in age perhaps, and they want to know, is it possible? And, they want to know how, if you can talk about how there's no age in which you cannot
I
achieve.
have to tell you this story. Is it possible? Everything is possible. There is nothing that is not possible for a mind that believes. You must believe that it is possible for you. And if you do, then it is possible. So I have to tell you this story. When I opened my school, uh, this lady called and asked if I had, if she could join a class. And we started having a conversation, and I could tell that the lady was um, not, that she was not very young. And I asked her, what brings you to this class? She said, I've always wanted to pursue a dream of being a fashion designer. And now that my children are out of school and out of college, um, and have their own lives, and I have free time, and I feel that this is my big chance. And by this time, I was feeling very emotional because I knew that she was not very young. But and she said that I'm so grateful that you have this school, because I don't have, I can't do the 4-year college, but I would like to learn these skills now. and do it on, in the spare time that I have. And I finally I got my courage up to ask her. I said, Alice, would you please tell me how old you are? And she says, oh dear, I'm 89, and now is my big chance. And at that point, I just I just broke down in tears. I thought, wow, if an 89-year-old lady um, feels that this is her big chance, then there is definitely time for everyone else who is looking to start a new career.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amen to that. Thank you.
You,
Very
thank you for having.
encouraging. Never too late. Thank you.
Never too late. Never too late. Never give up. It's never too late. Go for the dream. Don't doubt that you can. Believe in yourself. You should be your own cheerleader always. You have to be. You have to be. Of course, align yourself with people that will support you, celebrate you, and go there. Go where you are celebrated. Go where you are supported, where you are encouraged. That's where you should be. Don't stay with people that doubt you, or in some way discourage you, or in some way try to belittle you. You have to be your own cheerleader first. You have to believe in yourself. You can do it.
We can do it. We can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it, Ella. We can do it.
Yes. Yes. Do it.
We can do it. You're doing it. You are doing it. And thank you for what you've done today. Again, this time that you've taken, and the insight, the inspiration, the advice, the counsel, the tips that you've given today. So critical. I personally am going to have to play and replay this interviews and take notes for myself. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to get to know you, and pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ella. Pleasure is all mine. Believe me. Thank you. Pleasure has been mine this evening. And to my guests, thank you so much for joining again. To my subscribers, thank you. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button before we go off, and have your notifications turned on so that every time we come on live, you get that notification. Leave me a comment as well. Let me know how this interview has impacted your life, perhaps wherever you are right now in life. Also, take some time out to check out some of the other videos I have on my site, and also follow me on social media. So, Ella, thank you so much. If you wish to contact Ella, what's the best way to contact you?
Ella at ellapritsker.com.
Wonderful. You heard it. She teaches. If you're interested in fashion designing, need a mentor, maybe you've just met someone that you've been waiting for a long time. Ella, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'll look forward to our next conversation, part 2. Lots of questions still pending to be asked from the audience and myself. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk with you soon.
Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.